and welcome to our new topic in this course. So, we are going to discuss all about oral communication for social purposes. Now, social relationships class can be greatly affected by the words we speak, okay? So, we believe in that. They can improve or worsen our relationships with other people. Like gracious words can improve our relationships while careless words destroy them because sometimes, 'di ba, when we try to converse, when we try to talk to the person, even he or she is close to us, 'di ba, sometimes hindi na natin iniisip kung ano yung mga lumalabas sa bibig natin that could lead to maging ma-offend sila, 'di ba, or nasaktan sila without you as the speaker, uh, without the speaker knowledge na nasaktan niya na pala or na-offend niya na pala yung kausap niya because yun, we Filipinos or we people are very sociable, di ba? No man is an island, so kailangan talaga natin ng someone that we can express our feelings, di ba? Yung mga gusto natin sabihin, lalo na kapag may mga problems tayo, gusto natin i-share yung mga sentiments natin sa kanila. But of course, di ba, sabi nga ni Tia Wurtzbach, 'di ba? Doon yung Miss Universe 2015 natin. 'Di ba sabi niya, think before you click, 'di ba? When it comes sa internet, 'di ba? Kailangan isipin mo muna bago mo i-click or ipa-publish yung gusto mong sabihin, pag-isipan mo muna how many times. Ganun din when we talk of oral communication, kailangan pag-isipan mo muna kung ano yung mga gusto mong sasabihin kasi baka makasakit ka ng ibang tao. So you have to be what do you call this one? You have to be conscious, lalo na doon sa mga words na lumalabas sa bibig natin. Kasi di ba sometimes sabi nila, mas masakit pa yung words na lumalabas sa bunganga natin compared doon sa physical na sinasaktan natin or ganyan. So iba talaga yung power ng words natin, di ba? So marami tayong pwedeng masira, marami tayong pwedeng marami tayong pwedeng ma-destroy na family, yung mga friends natin, mawawala na ng trust sa atin. Kasi yung mga secrets natin na kailangan kayo lang yung nakakaalam, share mo din sa iba. And then here comes na nalaman ng friend mo na share mo pala doon. So it could destroy relationships kahit gaano pa kayo ka-close. Diba? Sabi nga nila, nasusubok talaga yung friendship ng magkakaibigan with regard to trust. Ayan, di ba? Yung tiwala. Now, many people are not even aware that they have already hurt other people's feelings. So, ang uban, feeling nila, hindi nila tayo nasasaktan or kanang, yun, di ba minsan tayo na mag-friends, di ba mahilig tayo mag-bully ng mga friends natin kasi sabi nila, kapag friend mo daw yung isang tao, kapag true friend mo daw, di ba, kaya mo siyang i-bully, di ba, kaya mo siyang ipahiya. So sometimes you have to be aware of that kahit close tayo doon sa tao kasi we will not know na nasaktan ko na pala siya, nasaktan ko na pala yung feelings niya, na ego di ay nako iyang ego. Okay? So sometimes kahit close natin yung isang tao or lalo na kapag hindi natin close, so we have to be aware, okay? Kailangan alam natin kung kailan ilugar yung pagiging bully natin, okay? And kailan ilugar yung yung mga jokes natin na minsan nakaka-offend, di ba? Kumbaga, yung mga jokes are half-meant. Ayan. On the other hand naman, class, it is very delightful to hear another person say that they have been encouraged by something we said. Ayan. Minsan din kasi itong social relationships natin, parang nagkakaroon ng strong bonding talaga, na-develop talaga yung rapport natin, di ba, with one another. And then sometimes kapag lalo na kapag ini-encourage tayo ng mga friends natin or ini-encourage tayo ng mama natin, ng papa natin na, I'm so proud of you, continue being a good daughter, continue being a good son, ayan. Tapos, di ba, kapag may achievement ka sa school, ika-congratulate ka ng mga friends mo na they are very proud of you. So, sometimes, yung mga sinasabi din nila sa atin can delight us, di ba? Nagiging delighted tayo, nagiging yung mga encouragement na binibigay nila sa atin, parang it shows their love for us, 'di ba? And parang doon sa mga sinasabi nila, parang mas nalilift ka pa, parang mas nagiging namomotivate ka pa rather na gawin yung best mo. Okay? So, it's not all about naman lang yung social relationships natin or itong oral communication kasi for social purposes, maraming situations, di ba? Ayan. Surely you can remember when someone uttered something that made you feel bad or when someone said something that brightened your day. So sometimes meron talagang mga tao na nakakasira ng araw natin, di ba? Meron din namang mga tao na nakakapagpaganda ng araw natin. Ayan. So because of the words they tell us. Ayan. Now, oftentimes naman class, it is not really the idea, but the way we express them that affects our social relationships, of course, di ba? Yun, it greatly affects talaga yung social relationship natin doon sa tao kasi uh, to the paano ba? Doon sa mga words na sinasabi nila sa atin kasi 'di ba minsan hindi naman lahat ng friends natin binibigyan tayo ng encouragement, binomotivate tayo, 'di ba? Lahat ng sinasabi nila sa atin good lang, 'di ba? So merong mga times din na binubuli tayo, naiinis sila sa atin, ayan. So, 'yun. Carefully chosen words can increase or decrease the impact of an idea being expressed. This is because words have the power to arouse emotions. Ayan. So, yan yung sinasabi ko, di ba? Lalo na kapag, yes, it arouses your emotions, pwedeng because of the words na magaganda na sinabi niya sa'yo, or pwede rin nag-arouse yung emotions mo kasi because of the words na mga sinabi niya sa'yo na hindi maganda. Okay? Yung parang naiirita ka, 'di ba? Yung parang feeling mo galit na galit ka sa kanya, kung pwede lang gusto mo siyang suntukin, ayan. So, pwedeng ganun. It arouses our emotions. Stir up memories, ayan, marami kang nang naiisip, 'di ba? Na lumalabas na nafa-flashback, ano ba yung mga experiences mo sa kanya or 'di ba? Or ano ba yung mga na-experience mo sa ganyang tao? And then and conjure images in the minds of listeners. How we construct our utterances determines the quality of relationships we have with the people around us. So ngayon class, kapag if you are not close with the person naman, you have to be polite, okay? Dili ibig sabihin na lalo na kapag hindi nyo close yung tao, you have to be polite. Ipakita nyo na you are approachable, na kahit ganito yung trato nila sa inyo, you have to remain like that, na maging polite, di ba? Lalo na dun sa mga mas nakakatanda sa atin. So, kailangan natin ipakita sa kanila na kahit ganito na yung generation ngayon, nadadala pa rin natin yung pagiging hospitable, yung pagsagot ng po at opo. Wag natin ibabrag sa sarili natin, magaling ako, matalino ako, so bakit ko siya re-respetuhin? So parang ganun. Ganun kasi minsan yung thinking ng mga tao. Kaya minsan, nami-mislead tayo, minsan kailangan na dapat ganito yung approach natin because we are bragging about ourselves, we are not being humble anymore. So kaya minsan, yung feeling natin, parang hambog na, matalino ako, so ayan, so I will not talk to you the way you wanted me to do. Ayan, so parang ganun. Okay, so you have to be careful about the words being chosen. Okay, or about the words that you are going to tell to the person. Ayan. Next, oral communication for social purposes. Ayan. Involves listening and speaking in order to improve relationships, of course, di ba? May times na kailangan nating makinig, may times na tayo na naman yung magsasalita, di ba? To build rapport with our friends or doon sa teachers natin, di ba? Doon sa family members natin. Now, human always cultivate relationship primarily through communication. Yes, mas nagiging strong yung bond natin lalo na kapag nagko-communicate tayo sa isa't isa, di ba? So kahit naman online tayo, so I hope na hindi pa rin kayo nagsasawa to communicate with your friends, to communicate with your family members na malayo sa inyo. Kasi alam kong need din nila yan in this time of pandemic. Yet, relationships cannot be maintained and improved if people do not employ good communication skills. Ayan, of course, di ba? Kung hindi naman maganda yung trato mo sa kanya, so do not expect na magiging maganda yung relasyon niyo sa bawat isa, di ba? Kahit nga yung mga boyfriend or girlfriend, husband and wife, kapag they are not hindi sila okay, di ba? Hindi sila nakakapag-usap, hindi nila napapag-usapan yung mga problema nila. So sometimes, di ba, they would try to disregard each other, dili na lang sila magpansinan, di ba? Kasi yun, wala silang magandang communication or hindi na-develop yung good communication skills between them. Ayan. So minsan nagli-lead din sa mga ganyan or yan, communication breakdown, di ba? Now, speaking for social purposes class, it requires different skills from practical academic settings because it differs in purpose. Okay? So maraming social situations, 'di ba? Marami tayong napagdadaanan, marami tayong na-encounter. More than getting information or knowledge, the purpose of social communication is to develop good relationships, okay? Not to destroy relationships. Tandaan mo yan. Okay? So yan yung magandang advantage, okay, ng communication sa atin, that we don't need to disregard it, lalo na kapag may nangangailangan. Kasi it could lead to suicidal attempts or ayan, suicide, di ba? So you have to help one another. Of course, we have types of speeches for social purposes. So ano kaya ito? First, we have here casual speech style. It may be used when the participants are acquaintances or when the topic is not serious. So, ito yung usually na gamit natin, di ba? Like when we talk to our friends, when we talk to yung mga tao na very close to us. So sometimes nga, kasi very casual tayo, meron tayong mga endearments, di ba? Sa friends natin like buddy, di ba? Besties, ayan. Ayan, and actually, an example of casual speech style and chatting with your friends, ayan, or sending letters to your friends. Ayan, yung casual speech style na ginagawa natin na usual, okay? Lalo na sa classroom setting, di ba? Ayan po. Next, intimate speech style naman may be adopted between close friends. Ayan, very close na kumbaga hindi na talaga sila mapaghiwalay. Okay? Pwedeng sa lalaki, di ba? Close friends or best friends sila. Pwedeng babae sa babae or babae at lalaki. They may talk about issues or topics that are personal and intimate. So this intimate speech style class, this is a completely private language that is used within, it could be within the family, okay? Yung husband and wife, mag-boyfriend at girlfriend, yung mga close friends niyo talaga na nakasanayan niyo na talaga silang kasama, na you treat them as a sister or as a brother, di ba? So yung parang hindi kayo mapaghiwalay, na you are very close, na alam niyo yung bawat kilos ng, alam niyo yung kilos ng bawat isa, okay? Yan. Usually, itong intimate speech style, usually pwede rin tayong gumamit ng mga endearments, di ba? Like, hubby, ayan, di ba? Or pwedeng honey bunch, babe, sweetheart, kasi nga, they have intimate relationships. So, it's actually normal for them. Mine, ayan, cupcake, cookie monster. So, there are a lot of endearments. So, those are just examples. Ayan, formal speech style naman may be adopted when institutions or other formally established groups meet to develop closer ties, such as between nationalities, organizations, associations, and other formally established groups. Now, this style naman class is used in extended one-way communication kasi meron tayong tinatawag na one-way communication, meron din tayong tinatawag na two-way communication. When we talk of one-way communication class, the speaker is only the one who talks, okay? Walang nangyayaring merong nangyayaring transferring of ideas or knowledge, okay? Pero there is no feedback na nangyayari or walang response coming from the listeners or audience, okay? When we say one way, galing lang kay speaker papunta sa receiver. Now, when we talk of two-way communication naman, merong vice versa na nangyayari. So the speaker will talk, the receiver or the audience and the listeners will give their feedback, okay? And the cycle goes on and on. So that is the two-way. Now, this formal speech style is extended one-way communication, like speeches in formal situations, such as in a graduation ceremony, diba? For example, the valedictory address that will be given by the valedictorian, okay? Hence, the speaker plans ahead and frames what he or she is to say before it is delivered. Itong formal speech style kasi class, it's somewhat related to the manuscript reading speech, di ba? Kasi kumbaga, the speaker plans ahead of time kung ano yung mga sasabihin niya bago niya i-deliver. Pwedeng na-practice niya na, di ba? Nagawa niya na ahead of time. Okay? So yan po yung mga formal speech style like the SONA or the State of the Nation Address of our President. Pwedeng ganon. Or pwede rin namang like the opening remarks, okay? Or the closing remarks, which is prepared ahead of time bago pa dineliver yung speech. Opo, ganon po. Next, frozen speech style naman. From the word frozen, it is used in very formal settings such that the interaction is scripted, ayan, and the speeches given are all pre-written with the participants not allowed to deviate from the flow of the program and the speech given to them. Now, this style is used such as in rituals, church rites, speeches for state ceremonies, and some other occasions, okay? Why? Because this frozen speech style class makes use of stock experiences that have not changed through the years, okay? Hindi siya every year nag-change or kung mag-change man, very rare yung changes na nangyayari. So what is an example of that? The Lord's Prayer, okay? Yung the Lord's Prayer class, usually before we are using sins, diba? Now we are using trespasses, okay? So, hindi siya po yearly na nangyayari. Kaya nga stock experiences, di ba? It is all pre-written, kumbaga scripted na. May kopya na tayo, binabasa na lang natin or fina-follow, okay? The Lord's Prayer is not yearly changing. Kumbaga, it rarely lang yung pagbabago or pagpapalit ng mga words, but the thought is still the same, okay? Since yung ginamit natin, and now we are using trespasses. Another, ayan, bibliographies. Okay, bibliographies cannot be changed at all times, di ba? Hindi mo siya pwede ma-change basta-basta na lang. Depende na lang kung gustong ipa-change ng may-ari, di ba? Gusto niyang ipa-change yung pangalan niya, okay? Pero hindi siya every year or hindi siya from time to time nangyayari. Rarely masyado. References, di ba? Yung mga references, kung ano yun, dapat yun talaga yung susundin mo. Okay? To avoid plagiarism. Laws, okay? Yung laws, hindi naman yan everyday nagbabago, di ba? Kung magbabago man ang laws, kailangan ilang readings pa ang nangyari bago papalitan or bago i-revise. So, it rarely lang yung pag-change po. Okay? Ano ba yung example ng frozen speech style aside doon? So, for example, sa phrases naman, I now pronounce you man and wife. Okay? That is scripted already. Yan talaga yung sinasabi ng priest in a marriage ceremony, di ba? Before yan yung ginagamit. And up until now, yan pa rin yung ginagamit natin. Okay? Okay, we have also here the following are expressions useful for social purposes, okay? Just as in speaking for practical purposes class, speaking for social purposes also involve expressions that are used to interact socially and develop, maintain, repair, and improve relationships. So these expressions can be used, di ba? Very important talaga ito na malaman natin isa-isa para we can know how to socialize properly. Okay? It could be doon sa mga close natin and even doon sa mga hindi natin ka-close. Okay? First is we have here making suggestions. Ayan. It certainly looks so easy to give your opinion or take in a particular matter if you are speaking to your close friends, diba? You can just fire away and say things like, that's a bad idea, or let's do this instead, or you know guys, let's just go with my plan. Ayan. So, since they are your best friends, they will not mind how direct and frank you express yourself. Lalo na, diba, kapag yung mga friends natin is very close to us, alam na natin kung how they approach us, alam na natin yung mga pasikot-sikot sa buhay nila. So sometimes, when they try to make suggestions, ganyan lang, di ba? Parang very casual lang, di ba? However naman po, what if you are communicating with people that you are not intimate with? Ayan, so wala kayong close relationships with each other or hindi nyo kilala ang isa't isa, di ba? Such as your new teammates in the basketball team. Ayan, for example, may mga bago kayong teammates or bago ka lang nag-join, di ba? Or group mates for your science project. Ayan, sagol-sagol or halo-halo na kayo, di ba? Hindi na yung mga friends mo yung kasama mo. Kasi tayo sometimes kapag groupings, partner tayo, yung mga friends ka agad, di ba? So, ganun yung thinking natin. So, paano ngayon kapag iba yung kagrupo mo? Ayan. Clearly, a certain distance and politeness is needed to express your thoughts in order to facilitate effective communication and start a fruitful discussion. Yun nga, di ba? Kasi you are not familiar to the person, hindi mo siya kilala, you know him, you know him or her by his or her name only, di ba? So hindi mo alam kung sa iyang attitude, kung sa iyang batasan, so you have to approach him or her politely. Okay? Dili pwedeng nga, o unsa man imong mga kuan, unsa man imong ma-suggest, okay? So you cannot say that, 'di ba? So you have to treat him or her with politeness, okay? Dili magpasikat-sikat nga murag sikinsa, no, 'di ba? So yan. Or for example, I think we should, ayan, so in making suggestions, or maybe we could, ayan, so dadagdagan ninyo or kukumpletuhin niyo na yung sentence. Ayan, so mind that. Agreeing and disagreeing. Ayan, paano pa mag-a-agree at paano natin i-disagree? There are different ways naman po to express your agreement with another person's idea or opinion. You can choose the manner in which you will express agreement by knowing the level of your relationship with the person. The closer your relationship to the person, the more casual you can be. Kasi minsan nahihirapan tayo na mag-agree at mag-disagree, di ba? Lalo na kapag hindi natin close. Pero kapag we are very close naman to the person, it's easier for us nga, tsaka man yung idea, oy, di ba? We could say that just in disagreeing to his or her idea. Pero paano naman kapag we are not close to that person? Paano mo i-disagree? Kasi madali naman mag-agree, di ba? I agree to you, ayan. For example, ito, I think that's a good idea. I totally agree. Ayan, I agree with what you say. I agree with you and a lot more. To disagree naman, I agree when you say that. Ayan, patuloy mo, but, ayan, di ba? Ganyan yung right way of disagreeing. Okay, lalo na kapag hindi mo close yung tao. I don't think that's a good idea and your reason. I'm not sure if that is a good idea and you're going to state your reason. And I don't think that's the case. Or pwede mo ring sabihin, I disagree. Ayan. Pero ayusin mo rin, okay? Huwag mo rin sasabihin, I disagree. Okay? So, huwag din ganun, okay? Para baka naman ma-shock yung mga kasabahan mo sa grupo. Anong nangyari sa'yo? Strong ka naman masyado. Ayan. However naman po, if the communicative relationship requires a degree of distance or professional courtesy, then opt for a straightforward statement that also conveys politeness, such as, I agree with what you say, or I agree with you, 'di ba? For example, mga professionals na yung mga kagrupo mo, 'di ba? Or yung mga kasamahan mo sa seminar, gigrupo kayo. So how will you approach them that you agree or disagree with them? Ayan. Now, in disagreeing naman with someone's idea or opinion, do not use or put downs or disparaging remarks, 'di ba? Disguise is a constructive feedback. You can be firm naman and logical by being straightforward and stating the reason why you do not agree with his or her idea, 'di ba? So pwede ganun, maging straightforward ka na lang. And you can also be more courteous. Pero when you try to speak it straightforwardly, 'di ba? You have to be polite naman, 'di ba? In addressing na you disagree with him or her. Dili nun nga ayoko sa idea mo. Hindi ko gusto ang idea mo, mali yung idea mo. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng ganun, class. So, you have to be courteous at all times. Okay? Para hindi ma-misinterpret ng receiver or ng listener yung gusto mong i-convey. Next, giving constructive feedback. Ayan, in giving constructive feedback to another person, always be sensitive to that person's feelings. Okay? Hindi mo alam kung ano yung tumatakbo sa isip ng kausap mo. So you have to be aware of the words coming out from your mouth. Okay? Thus, state your observation or feedback in a manner that will not hurt or offend that person's feelings and decision. Ayan, kung magbibigay ka naman ng feedback mo, di ba? So sometimes ito yung pinakamahirap na stage we're in, lalo na kapag sa mga elementary students, how will you give your feedback to them na yung feedback na dapat na kahit hindi ganun kaganda, paano masasabihin sa kanila in a nice way na hindi sila iiyak. Ayan. So, paano ba yung approach na ganyan? Okay? So, ganun sa mga elementary students natin. Kasi di ba, kapag hindi sila na-praise, hindi sila napapalakpakan, so minsan, yung emosyon nila parang iiyak sila kasi feeling nila hindi maganda yung ginawa nila. Okay, so you still need to appreciate what they did. Okay, lalo na sa mga elementary students natin. Or preschool, ayan. Now, for example naman dito sa ating giving constructive feedback, ayan, I understand that you want to, ayan, something positive naman, but, ayan, doon mo na ibibigay yung feedback mo kung hindi naman siya gaano kaganda, okay? Or I appreciate that you, ayan, i-affirm mo yung tao, 'di ba? Kasi yung mga tayo talaga may gusto talaga natin ay i-affirm din tayo ng mga tao, yung parang i-praise tayo na ang galing mo naman, 'di ba? Uy, continue mo lang ha kasi I am really inspired by you. Ayan. So pwedeng ganun, i-affirm mo yung tao kasi need din naman natin 'yan, 'di ba? Hindi lang yung puro negative lang yung binibigay sa atin or sinasabi sa atin. So, tignan mo rin kung ano yung positive, what do you call this one? Yung pagiging positive niya sa buhay, okay? Or yung personalities niya in a positive way. Ayan. It's good that you are going to affirm him or her and then your good intentions, but, ayan, magbibigay ka na ng feedback. Skills for conversations. Ayan. In talking to another person, class, always be sensitive to that person's feelings and to his or her desire to speak. Ito talaga yung minsan nakakaligtaan natin, di ba? Na we don't think anymore yung mga gusto nating sabihin. So, kailangan niyo to, okay? Skills for conversations para hindi niyo ma-offend or hindi niyo masaktan yung kausap ninyo. Okay? Always remember that his or her ideas and thoughts are as important as yours, okay? Hindi mo man gusto yung mga sinabi niya, but still, okay, ano ba yung gagawin? Okay, hindi mo man gusto yung sinabi niya, at least he or she tried. 'Di ba? Nag-try siya. Okay? Give him or her an equal amount of talking time and pay attention to what he or she is saying. Ayan. So, bigyan mo rin siya ng ample time, 'di ba, to explain and para mapakinggan mo rin siya. Okay? After he or she has spoken, you can ask questions to show that you are really interested in the topic. Ayan. So kasi minsan, alam na alam talaga natin kapag yung mga nakikinig tinatamad na or wala nang interest makinig sa atin, di ba? So you can also encourage him or her to share more by saying, "Go on, I'm listening." Ayan. So usually kapag sa mga reporting, di ba, sa classroom, tinatamad ka, ayaw makinig, feeling mo alam mo na lahat, di ba? Ayan. So you have to learn this. Sensitivity to other participants' desire to speak. Ayan, what were you going to say? Ayan, so you have to be sensitive kasi baka meron silang gustong sabihin na magandang idea, di ba? So, try mo rin silang i-ask, try to interact with them, try to deal with your participants, hindi lang ikaw yung nagtutok parate, di ba, na speaker. You wanted to say something, ayan, or what is it you wanted to say? Anyone? Okay, ayan, so kung may ideas ba kayo, you can share it para naman ma-feel din nila yung sense of belongingness. That they belong, ayan. Engaging others, ayan, what do you think? Name of a person or not speaking very much, or what can you say about that? Ayan, name of a person na hindi masyadong nagsasalita. Kasi even sa klase, meron talagang mga tao na that they are taciturn, di ba? They don't talk, ayan. They less talk, ayan, di ba? They will just talk or answer kapag yun, kinakausap sila. And minsan tatango lang nga eh, di ba? And then, kung kailan mo sila tatawagin, that's the time na magsasalita na sila. Kasi merong mga students na ganun, di ba? Hindi mo naman masasabi na isolated sila or what. Siguro ganun lang talaga yung personality nila. No? They don't like to engage talaga dun sa mga classmates nila. Kasi I have one student before na transferee din siya. Transferee. And then yun nga, sanay siya doon sa school na pinanggalingan niya. And then here comes na lumipat na siya dito and iba-iba na yung mga personalities ng mga classmates niya, yung mga attitudes, di ba? So you cannot please everybody naman to to treat you well. 'Di ba? Kasi mga bata 'yan, mga estudyante, by diverse personalities, 'di ba? Merong mabait, merong ambot na lang, 'di ba? Merong moderate, merong sobra kabuli, ayan. So it's actually normal for them. So ayan, paano mo i-encourage yung students mo kapag ganyan na they less talk, 'di ba? Ayan, showing a willingness to listen. Ayan, show mo din, wag naman yung bastusan, 'di ba? Na ito kahit online tayo, kahit hindi ko kayo nakikita, if you are watching this video, I hope so that you are doing that. 'Di ba? Showing a willingness to listen kahit online na tayo, 'di ba? Makinig kasi it could be marami ako mga information dito na pwede ninyong malaman, 'di ba? Na matutunan ninyo, and then baka ito pa yung lalabas sa exam, 'di ba? Lalo na yung sa mga explanation ko. So you have to be aware of that. Okay? Ayan, go on, I'm listening kapag, usually kasi ito kapag face-to-face, di ba? Na nagkakaroon talaga ng interaction. Pero of course, kasi we are in new normal naman, so hindi ko naman kailangan na malaman pa yung willingness ninyo na gusto nyong maka-learn, di ba? So, if you are that intelligent, you don't know, you don't watch videos anymore na ginawa namin, kahit full effort ito, kahit na we arrive here early para lang makapag-record, di ba? Kasi hindi pa masyadong, ayan, kasi hindi maingay dito, di ba? Ayan, showing a willingness to listen para maka-learn din kayo. Okay? On developing the skills of conversation. So below are several skills of conversation. You need to remember them when speaking with others. Sensitivity to other participants' desire to speak. Ayan. Ceasing to talk and allowing others to speak is a highly valued skill that will be appreciated by your listeners. Ayan. It shows selflessness as well as sends the message that other people are important to you. Now, in particular naman, interrupting others by speaking louder is not acceptable, okay? So you have to be sensitive doon sa mga gustong magsalita, okay? Lalo na sa mga participants mo or sa mga nakikinig sa'yo. Huwag mo ring ipa-feel sa kanila na you don't want to listen, di ba? You show respect, okay? By letting them finish what they are saying na hindi pa nga natapos. Okay, that's all. Okay, so wag naman ganun kasi ma-offend sila. Next, engaging others to speak. Ayan na po. Sometimes, there are participants who are too shy to speak. Ayan, kahit nga sa classroom, di ba? Meron mga students talaga na very mahiyain na kung pastoryahon ganini mo, murag iring ang tingog, ana. So, you can help them participate by asking them about what they can say. Ayan, i-engage mo lang sila parate para masanay sila. Kasi baka hindi sila sanay to talk, di ba? To a lot of people, ayan, na maraming nakikinig sa kanila kasi hindi sila sanay doon. Engaging others to speak builds inclusivity and helps create an atmosphere of camaraderie. Ayan. It is another way of showing that you value people. Hindi yung very shy na nga siya, hindi mo pa siya ini-encourage or hindi mo pa siya ini-engage, di ba? Sa mga tanong. So, forever siyang magiging ganun. Hindi ma-develop yung self-confidence or self-esteem na meron yung bata. Ngayon, baka matalino pala yun, tapos disregard mo lang, di ba? Ayan. Next, sensitivity to others' desire not to speak. Ayan. Sometimes, and for some reason, class, other people simply do not want to speak but are willing to let you and others do so. Repeatedly trying to engage them to talk and actually irritate them. Diba? You need to be sensitive to their desire and respect their option not to speak. So wag mo rin pipilitin minsan yung mga nakikinig to really say or pasasagutin mo sila kasi yun, they don't have the desire to really speak. Okay? Kaya nga minsan, di ba, hindi na sila tumataas ng kamay, ayaw nilang makipag-engage, ayaw nilang makisali. Ayan. Showing a willingness to listen. Ito, showing an interest to what others are saying is a very important skill naman that shows your sympathy toward others. Ayan. By doing so, you send the message that you value them and what they have to say. Kasi being willing to listen naman also enables you to understand others, di ba? Kasi nalalaman mo na i-express nila yung sarili nila. So, ipakita mo rin sa kanila that you are willing to listen to them. 'Di ba? Lalo na sa mga guidance counselors natin, 'di ba? Kapag may mga problem yung mga students, sila yung makikipag-usap. So, sila as guidance counselors, they really need this. Okay? Kasi baka ngayon, pwedeng suicidal attempts yung mangyari. Pwedeng mag-suicide yung bata kasi very depressed. Walang gustong makinig sa kanya. Lalo na kapag busy yung parents, di ba? So, minsan nakakaligtaan na ito. Kaya they tend to mag-suicide na lang kasi feeling nila wala silang kasama, wala silang masabihan ng problema. Okay? Ayan. Next is remembering what others have already said. Ayan. So, giingon niya na gani. Diba? Tapos ngayon, it comes na hindi ka pala nakikinig. Ayan. So, ano ang mangyayari? Now, a conversation where one speaker superficially asks questions again and again without actually internalizing what the other person has already said is a very unwelcome activity because it shows that the speaker is not really sincere, diba, in getting to know the person he or she is talking with. For this reason naman, your objective must be to really get to know the person. Okay? You do not think of the next question, diba, while the person is still speaking, but try to understand or try to decipher and digest kung ano yung mga sinasabi niya. Okay? Kasi baka ngayon, pwede mo palang magamit yung idea niya, diba? Sa iba mo pang, sa iba mong topics. Ayan. So, ayan, remembering what others have already said. Ito. Using constructive to resolve disagreements, ito, we have here guidelines for speaking socially. Now, disagreements will always be present in human relationships, di ba? Hindi talaga natin yan maiiwasan. However, using good oral communication skills can help resolve disagreements so that relationships are repaired and maintained. Kasi lahat naman nadadaan sa magandang usapan. Now, kung ayaw naman makipagbati ng isa, so walang good communication skills na mangyayari, so hindi sila magbabati. Diba? Yon. Now, one important skill, class, in resolving disagreements is giving constructive feedback. Ayan. This kind of feedback is characterized by a desire to help, build up the other party. It actually uses the power of words to fix any hurt where someone feels he or she was treated unfairly. Ayan, so yung power of words talaga natin, di ba, all the time, parang that is really an advantage to help people, those who are in need, di ba, lalo na yung mga may problema, may pinagdadaanan, ayan. In addition, constructive feedback recognizes the good intentions of others. It comes out of a person's desire to really resolve disagreements. Ayan, yan yung constructive feedback. First is we have here be polite. Sa lahat ng ginagawa natin, we have to be polite. Okay? Kahit na close natin yung tao, hindi natin gaano ka-close ang tao or hindi natin kilala yung tao. We have to be polite, lalo na sa mga nakakatanda. Kasi yan yung pinamana nila sa atin. Yan yung tradition natin na up until now, dapat gamitin natin. We have to preserve that. Because as always, in most communication settings naman, politeness is very crucial. Okay? So malalaman talaga ng kausap mo, malalaman talaga ng listener or ng speaker if you are not polite. Okay? Kasi the way you approach them, ayan. The only possible communication class where politeness may have less importance is between very good friends who are at ease in teasing or commenting negatively about each other. So if you are that close to the person naman, 'di ba? So it's actually casual na magbully kayo sa isa't isa, 'di ba? So kapag hindi niyo naman po close yung tao, you are not familiar to the person, so you have to be polite. Ipakita mo naman na you are polite, okay? Yet even among very close friends, 'di ba? Merong instances din where a level of politeness must still be maintained. Okay? Kasi minsan nga kahit friends mo, 'di ba? Minsan kapag very sensitive yung friend mo, madali nang matatamaan yung ego niya, di ba? So matingala na lang ka, wala niya ka ginapansin. In most settings po, showing courtesy and politeness strengthens social bonds and lessens any existing disagreement. Okay? Kasi kung wala ka niyan, yun, paano madadevelop yung magandang relationship sa inyo. Okay? Give the politeness you expect from others. Kasi hindi ka magiging, kapag hindi mo sila binigyan or hindi ka naging polite sa kanila, do not expect na magiging polite sila sa iyo, 'di ba? Same as kung maganda yung approach mo, of course maganda din yung magiging approach nila. Pero kapag pangit yung approach mo, don't expect them, okay, to do so, na gawin yung tama. Kasi kahit nga pag-approach, 'di ba, hindi maganda. How much more doon sa sinabihan mo. Be humble. Ito talaga yung minsan nawawala sa atin, 'di ba? People do not appreciate a boastful or arrogant attitude. They do not like it when you keep on talking about how great you are, di ba? So, minsan, kapag yung tao, kapag always niya na lang ina-affirm yung sarili niya, ganito ako, ganito, you are not being humble, okay? Ayaw ko makinig sa'yo, you are bragging yourself, ayan. They especially do not like it when you seem to despise people, particularly the ones you talk to. That is why, minsan, your speech must not sound as if you are showing a condescending attitude toward others. Your tone of voice, loudness and softness, di ba? And rhythm of speech must all show humility. Okay? So, gayahin natin si Mary, class. We have to be humble. Okay? Dili man kailangan na there's no need for you to brag about all of your achievements. Yes, we are very proud of you, pero antayin mo na kami yung mag-affirm sa'yo. Okay? Para hindi rin maisip ng iba, hambog man siya, hambugira man siya. Because sometimes, ganyan yung thinking ng mga tao because you cannot please everybody. Diba? Dili man tanan the same of thinking because we have different perceptions. Okay? So para naman, kasi di ba we always thinking of others instead of thinking for ourselves. So ganyan tayo. So ayan, kapag ayaw mo na pag-isipan ka ng ganon, so you have to be humble. Okay? Kung bright ka, yes, given na yun, you are intelligent, that's good. Pero you don't need to brag that to us na, I don't want to listen to you, ma'am. I don't want to watch your video kasi mas magaling ako sa'yo, mas magaling yung explanations ko. Then, wala tayong magagawa dyan, okay? But remember, you are still student, you are still grade 11 student, so marami pa kayong pagdadaanan. Next, avoid questions or comments that may embarrass your listener. Di ba? Ayaw pa huy imong receiver or ayaw pa huy imong listeners. You need to understand, class, that some questions can cause embarrassment on the part of your listener, okay? Before asking questions or making comments, evaluate whether or not they will put your listener in an embarrassing situation. Of course, di ba? Usually, this can be applicable in many other situations. Pwedeng sa classroom, di ba? Or pwedeng kahit saan. So, para naman hindi rin ma-misunderstood, di ba? Para hindi rin ma-misunderstood ng mga listeners mo, kailangan ipaintindi mo rin sa kanila. Okay? And then, isipin mo kung yung mga ibibigay mo ba or yung mga lalabas ba sa bunganga mo, hindi ba siya ma-embarrass, hindi ba siya masasaktan? You have to think of that. Okay? So, hindi natin pwede sabihin na magug ka mo nang wala niyo mo ng sabtan. No. Okay? Sabi nila, think before you click. Pag-isipan mo ng ilang beses, how many times bago mo sabihin. Kasi mas masakit yung words kesa sa physical. Okay, tandaan niyo yan. Also naman, be sensitive if your question or comment has put your listener on the spot. Okay? If so, you need to change your question or qualify your comment so that its impact is lessened para hindi naman mapahiya yung estudyante. Okay? Or hindi naman mapahiya yung mga audience mo or yung listeners. Next, understand that some questions or comments require a level of closeness. Ayan. So, hindi lahat ng tao ka-close natin. So, kailangan kabalo ka makibagay. Okay? So, if dili ka close sa anak nga tao, how will you approach them? Diba? Kung close mo naman siya, paano siya i-approach? Diba? It's easier, lalo na kapag close natin yung tao. Now, this is determined by the culture of the participants in the conversation. Usually po, questions about personal or family problems may not be asked by more acquaintances because sometimes people who have a terminal or critical illness do not appreciate being asked about it because it actually reminds them of their situation. So lalo na kapag hindi mo close yung tao, wag mo rin silang tatanungin ng mga questions about their personal life kapag hindi mo sila ka-close. Kasi it reminds them na murag kung sa ila na pagdaanan before, di ba? So, hindi naman tayo close, ba't ka nagtatanong ng mga ganyang question? So, okay lang kapag close mo, di ba? Next, do not talk negatively about others. So, kita, we are very fond of backbiting, okay? Yes, admit that to yourselves. Hilig tamang libak, ana, di ba? Lalo na kapag the person is not around. Ayan, mahilig tayo mag-backbiting. Actually po, backbiting does not really develop relationships, di ba? Instead, when the people you talk with regularly hear you talking negatively, di ba, about others, they will wonder what you say about them when they are not around. So, kailangan imong mga ginaingnan, make sure na walay close contact doon sa tao na ginalibak nimo, okay? Kasi pwedeng i-share niya doon. And then here comes na nalaman ng tao na gina-backbite mo. So what do you think will happen? Of course, it could destroy relationship, lalo na kapag medyo close mo naman yung tao, di ba? Tapos gilibak mo, nag-backbite ka. Okay. Instead of building relationships, class, backbiting merely creates division and cultivates ill feelings toward others. So magkakaroon ng gap between the two of you. Be patient ito. Sometimes kita, hilig ka magkarakara, like feeling natin it's already end of the world, di ba? So you have to be patient, mag-antay, kasi kami ng mga teachers ninyo, we have a lot of how many sacks of patience, di ba? Kailangan marami kaming dala-dalang pasensya every day because we have these diverse personalities ng mga estudyante, magkakaiba, di ba? 400 plus students versus one teacher, 'di ba? Magkakaiba pa yan ng ugali, hindi pa yan magkakatulad. Okay? So kailangan na maging patient, maging pasensyoso sa mga sagot ninyo na wala diri, wala dito. You have to understand that. You have to consider that one, dili kay libakon lang ang teacher always na unsa man to si Ma'am Uy, dili ka balo mag-explain. Unsa man to si Ma'am Uy, kuripot kayo maghatag. Class, alalahanan ninyo inyong performance ha. Remember kung ano yung mga binibigay nyo na performance sa amin bago kayo magreklamo. Okay? Sometimes, di ba, you experience difficulty in relating to others because they do not behave the way you expect them to. Okay? So, dili man tanan, ingnon ako nga, okay, please behave. Everyone behave. Nga no, tanan to mag-behave? No. Di ba? You cannot expect them na ganun din yung gawin nila. Lalo na kapag may mga attitude problem yung mga estudyante mo, di ba? Some may show dullness, arrogance, or any other attitude you dislike. Ayan. In such cases, you need to be patient because this may simply be experiencing something negative in their lives. You need to realize that others have also shown patience toward you when you were not at your best. Ayan. So, kailangan i-consider nyo rin yan. Yes, you are giving your best. But maybe your best is not yet good enough, di ba? Kami, very patient lang, okay? Nagpapapasensya, okay? Kasi we have to consider that we are now in this new normal, di ba? Online learning na tayo. So, kailangan pa rin natin intindihin what kind of students do we have, ano yung sagot na binibigay natin sa kanila, paano natin sasabihin para hindi sila ma-embarrass. We are always thinking about you. So sana, you should always think of us also. Because we cannot please naman you, di ba, na pakinggan nyo ako, ayusin nyo yung mga sarili ninyo, ayusin nyo yung attitude ninyo, ayan. Di ba? Kasi diverse kayo eh. So yung kailangan namin gawin dito, we have to be patient. So sana ganun din kayo. Realizing that no one is indeed perfect, okay, we must give some allowance for each other's faults. Ganyan na lang, okay? Soon you will realize that the other person is actually good to relate to after all. So para hindi kayo may misunderstood ng tao, ibigay mo yung kompletong detalye. Okay? Para in return, hindi niya ma-misunderstood yung mga sinasabi mo para maging patient naman siya kung yaw-yaw ba na imong ginaingon or whatever. Okay? Kasi minsan dyan na yung papasok yung communication breakdown natin. So, kailangan natin itong constructive feedback. Okay? Ayan. So, be mindful and sana ma-learn ninyong lahat ito para you can use it in real life. Magagamit niyo siya. So, that's all for our lesson for today. So, thank you for joining today's class. I hope you watched the video and I hope that you have learned something from me today. Bye! See you soon!